Hello, 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 hello. Hi, this is Cassandra. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. I crochet here, and I do tutorials. Now, I haven't been really on here a lot because I've been going through some things, trying to pack and get ready to excavate the premises. But while I was packing, I ran across some of my old crochet books and magazines, and I thought I would just share them with you, being that I got a few people who are new, or a few people who, they're new to crochet, and because they're new to crochet, they don't really know about buying crochet books and being able to read patterns and things of that nature. So I'm going to tell some stories about when I was coming up, and I'm going to show you some books that I have. And hopefully maybe if you out shopping, you might run across a crochet book similar to mine, or I have some knitting books too. You may run into a book or some magazines or something that's similar to mine or not, and you may open it up and read it, and it may be easy for you to learn how to crochet. I was watching a video the other day, and the young lady was expressing how to read patterns. And it got me to thinking, the last time I read a pattern, I made that pink bells top. But I got all of these books, and I have not read to try to do patterns out of the books. So I was like, I'm going to get back into that. Also, I ran across a few of my totes where I had created or made, hand crocheted some items, and I might want to show you those too. Now, my intention was to do it live, but because I make so many mistakes, I didn't want to go live. I just do this here and call it a day. Okay, this was one of my first books, crochet techniques and projects. It had the ripple Afghan on the front. It's made by a Sunset book from Lane Publishing Company. I don't know if they're still in business or not. Probably not. Sunset Books and Sunset Magazines. It has the foreword and the table of contents, and then it has the introduction to crochet. And yeah, it has good illustrations in it, even though the pictures are old. Some of them don't have color. Show you how old they I got this book when I was like, I want to say 9, 10, something like that. And let's see, this book was published in 1979. Yeah, 1979. The designs were by Terrence Meager, and the illustrations were by Nancy Lawton. The cover shows the rainbow ripple afghan. It's on page 60. It's designed by Lynn Morrell. Photographed by Glenn M. Christensen. Yeah, it's got, yeah, some of them are not, yeah, some of the pictures are not in color. But this was what I was using to learn how to do the half double crochet and the single crochet and the triple crochet, things like that. Yeah, that's what I was learning how to do it with. But there were these other books that I got before I got this book, because they were about, let's see, they were not paperback books. They had binders. They had the swirly, well, it wasn't white, it was plastic around the outside. I believe it was made by Karen Yarns or Coates and Clark, one of the two, if not both. But anyway, it was Learn to Knit and Learn to Crochet. They were wee itty bitty books. The Learn to Crochet had a yellow shawl on the front, and the Learn to Knit had a scarf and hat set that was done in the garter stitch. I don't have those books anymore. I had those two books, and I had all the filet crochet, the filet crochet magazines from book 1 to book 119. I had all of those. When I moved from 115th Street to 59th and Walcott, I know y'all don't know where that is if y'all don't live in Chicago, but when I moved from there to the other place, I left my box with all those books and magazines in it. I had other knitting and crochet magazines also. I wish I could remember the names of them, but I'm sorry. However, yeah, so back to this book. In this book, it shows you the miscellaneous supplies, what you would use to knit and crochet with, or to crochet with, and to make these patterns with. It shows the lady winding from a Swift. That's the first time I had ever seen one of those. That was before they made the yarn ballers. So you know this is old. But she was yeah, she was winding up a yarn ball from the Swift. But the winder that she has in this picture looks nothing like the winder that I have now. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it looks nothing like the one I have now. So yeah, and then it shows how to make a chain, you know. And the illustrations were very good in this book. They were hand drawn, I guess, hand drawn. See how to do the stitches. Yeah. And then it tells you in detail how to double crochet and what a double crochet is. It tells you how to single crochet and what a single crochet is. It tells you about the abbreviations of the stitches. They call it the language of crochet. And what you use to prepare to learn how to crochet and how to do these stitches. Once you get the hang of the stitches and learn the abbreviations, you'll be able to read patterns. Some of the patterns are easy to do, and some of them kind of took me for a loop. Like, wait a minute, you want me to do what? I got like that a few times. It shows you how to change. It tells you about changing colors. It tells you about how to sew your items together. When you making cardigans and things like that, how to sew them together, how to crochet them together. Yeah. And then it tells you how to make different things. Now, in this book, I learned how to make the halter top. How to make my first cardigan. How to do the granny vest. Yeah, I tell you how to do the granny square here too. See, these books were very, very informative. I did learn a lot from them. They even teach you how to make a bikini, how to make a cape, how to make a vest. Then there's a cool pair of socks. Socks. Well, they more like house shoes. They like house shoes. And then there's a neck piece. Well, I wasn't into all of that. I just really wanted to just learn how to do the single crochet and double crochet and all of that. And I put things to the test how I put them to the test. Now, they also had, let's say, a covey of caps. Certain hats. You know, there's the top hat and the cloche hat. And then you got the derby and, yeah. And then the regular beanie. And they tell you how to make all of these hats in detail. How to make the flower that go on the cloche hat. Croche. I can't pronounce it. Yeah. So then, oh, they even teach you how to make a hammock. How's that? There's some crochet for you, ain't it? Yeah, a hammock. That's nice. I never did get to make that. My dad was like, oh, you can make me a hammock. But my father weighed 300 and some pounds. I wasn't going to make no hammock that was going to fit him. I wouldn't be able to do it. So, yeah. And anyway, then they have too the Afghans, you know, the ripple Afghan. See, they got the baby on it, and then they have the other Afghan here. Yeah. So this was a really good book for me to learn from. It was really interesting. It had some interesting patterns in it. And then I bought a knitting book also. The knitting book was the complete book of knitting. It used to have a plastic covering, but you know, when you're a kid, you play with things. Things get tore, you just throw them away. But anyway, in this book of knitting, it showed you about equipment, your needles, things of that nature. It showed types and sizes of needles for special uses, the single pointed and straight needles, the double pointed and round needles, or circular needles, circular needles. Whether you're going to use aluminum, plastic, wood, or steel. Yeah. uh, those things. Jumper needles, cable needles. You know how to use them all so that you can make your items. If you was doing cables, you can make cables. If you was doing um, lace, you make lace or fillet, you know, that type of thing. Um, they also showed you about the giant needles and uh, stitch markers and tape measures and all of this type of stuff and everything. Yeah. And then they teach you about all the terms and abbreviations. K equals knit, P equals purl, KP equals knit and purl, or PK equals purl and knit. If you had to do it in the same stitch, it would say together. Knit one, purl one, you know, that type of thing. Knit two together. And they had all the different abbreviations for knitting in this particular book. This book was, I wrote all over it, my crazy self. Well, I was a kid. That's what we do. Things. Please forgive the noise outside. Y'all know I live next to a very busy street. This book was published in 1971. Am I telling my age? Yeah, it was copyrighted in 1971 by the Viking Press Incorporated. All rights reserved. First published in 1971, and then it was in New York City on Madison Avenue. I know that's not there no more. They long gone. Well, anyway, as we get over to, they had the abbreviations and the wording for different languages in here as well. British, French. So that was like knitting and abbreviations usually found in U.S. print, plus new ones found in this book from, you know, the UK and things like that. So we got British, French, German, and who else? Spanish, Swedish, and the like. They didn't put no African in there. I guess we're gonna leave that alone. Anyway, they tell you about the basic knitting procedures, how to hold the yarn, how to hold your knitting needles, how to hold your hooks, things like that. This book is also hand illustrated. They scribbled it in there with their hand, and then they took a picture of it. So I can show you what I'm talking about. See? It's not like the pictures in color that we have now. But the wording, it was plenty of wording in here. You would definitely be able to understand it because they were very detailed. I learned how to knit in like 3 days. Yeah, in 3 days. Maybe 2. It might have been 2. I don't know. I was a kid. I just know I kept trying until I got it. Oh, they tell you how to increase, how to decrease, how to work on the bias, how to make skirts and things of that nature. Okay, so then after that it teaches you how to, or it tells you how to take correct measurements, how to tailor it to finish it and things of that nature. And then they have these stitches. And the stitches were all in black and white. So you can see what they look like, but you wouldn't see them in color. They were all in black and white. And there's a lot of stitches 3 on each page. If one instruction section was longer and they needed to put it on the second page, then it would only be 2 stitches or 2 different patterns on one page. Stitch patterns. I made some things when I was a kid out of some of these knitting stitches. But yeah, as I got older, I bought this knitting book because I wanted to see what the pictures look like in color. Like, these are such pretty stitches, but you can't see them in color. Well, in this book, the name of this book is The Harmony Guide to Knitting. This book was published by Harmony Books in New York. The copyright for this one is 1992. Okay, I was having children then. So, yeah, I bought this one later on after I got grown. But anyway, yeah. And it doesn't have like how to make things with these patterns. It just has the patterns and how to do the patterns, you know. And the patterns, what they look like in color. So, the pattern stitches, what they look like in color. Recently, I bought this book, Crochet Stitches. I got this book from Amazon. This book also has color stitches in it and design stitches. There are over 180 different stitches and pictures in it. This book was put together, I think, by Sarah Hazel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Oh Lord, here we go with these little bitty letters. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to see that. This one was 2013, copyrighted in 2013. There's a lot of names on there. I'm not going to try to call out all those names. But a lot of people took time and did these stitches to make them vibrant in color where you can see the details. They also have illustrations on what the stitches are supposed to look like. And yeah, and illustrations on how the stitches are supposed to be put together. Yeah, I refer to this book quite often because this is more of my speed. Yeah. Okay, so after I bought that book, then I started buying these little books like this here. This book is called The Big Book of Crochet Afghans. I wanted to learn how to do these ripple Afghans. I just love them. They are so beautiful. But they shocked me because they had other patterns in here also. They had patterns for where you can make leaves and stripes and even cookies. Even cookies. That was so cool. They have, okay, so this book is written, it don't have a table of content on it. Oh, it's got a table of content. Wait a minute, what a copyright page. You're going to do all this talking to me and telling me all this stuff. You're going to tell me when this book was copyrighted. And stuff like that. It tells you the metric conversion charts, like numbers, baby, measurements. Oh, all of that information is in the back of the book. It tells you about the stitches, the stitch guide, how you can do the stitches. It tells you about the abbreviations and terms also. Now the reason why I bought this book in particular is because when I was younger and my mother was living, she used to tell me little stories about my coming into the world. And she told me that it took her almost 30 hours to have me. I was a slow train coming. So she nicknamed me Choo Choo, Choo. As I was coming up, everybody was calling me Choo Choo. Choo Choo, Choo Choo. Choo Choo, come here. Choo Choo, let me show you this. Choo Choo, let me see you do this. And so I was standing in Michael's. Yep, I was in Michael's. And I was looking through this book. And I opened it up to page 60. What did it say? I had to buy it. I'm like, I got to buy this book because, Mommy, my nickname is in this book. That's my old nickname. When I got in high school, I took on the nickname of Baby Butter Bobo. I'm not going to tell you the story about that. Everybody just called me Butter Bo. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, back to this book. It has very vibrant photos of different Afghans that they have created. They don't do illustrations in here. I guess they figure you should know. Yeah. They even got a racing blanket in here. Yeah. This book took me back to my childhood for real. When I saw Choo Choo, I was like, oh, Lord, I got to buy this book. Anyway, moving on. Then I bought this book, A Year of Afghans. Now, there is a place online called Thrift Books. You can also purchase these books from them. Not only can you purchase these books from them, you can purchase them from Amazon and some other bookstores, bookmark shops on Google. You can find them. So anyway, I got this book Book of Afghans. It too has, yeah. It also has, this is A Year of Afghans. It was published in 1998. You know I'm going to have to go back and get all the other years that it was published from. And it's not hard to find them. Michael has a lot of them. Joann's may have some. Hobby Lobby may have some. You just have to look for them. You'll find them. You can even go to your local library, child. Yeah, the library hold crochet books. Anyway, this book, like I said, was published in 1998 from, looks like Leisure Art Incorporated. Leisure Art. It has 145 pages of information. 145 pages. And bold print. See how big them letters is? I'm so glad I found this book, because y'all see these glasses? I can't. That little bitty light reading that's in, let me see, in this book, because the wording is very light. You can read it, but it's small also. So a person like me that wear bifocals, I can't read it like that. I had to have my glasses and a magnifying glass in order to see the wording. But this particular book here has big bold letters that you can read from. And when they say, they want to make sure you see it. So yeah. Yeah. And the pictures in the book are very vibrant and lovely, as well as, and it goes through different months of the year, January to December, excuse me, and there are anywhere from 5 Afghans a month in this book. So you get 60 Afghans in here. The delightful medley, the casual comfort, nostalgic ripple, Simply Kitty. And what I like about Simply Kitty is it is made of cats. Can y'all see that? Cats. C-A-T-S. Cats. They sitting there with the tails like this. Okay. Yes. Then they have a Victorian lace. It is a mile a minute book. Not book. Pattern. It's a mile a minute pattern. And then they have the sweetheart blanket in here. See. Yeah. So I was looking at a lot of these videos that are on YouTube, and I hope they don't get mad at me for saying it, but a lot of the patterns that they have done come from these books, or were placed in these books because of those patterns. I'm not sure, but however, they got a pretty corner to corner one in here, and it also is a ripple. But it's a ripple that you have to control the color of the yarn to make the ripple, because it's corner to corner. What they call it, a graph yarn. I think that's what they call it. So yeah, they have different Afghans in here. Tranquil Granny. There's a Granny Stitch one. I'll probably do this one, because this is easy. I know how to put the grannies together. Yeah, anybody can put the grannies together. We can do the grannies. I like the colorway. The purples and the greens and the blues with a black background. That is hot. I like that. Of course, you know I'll change it to something crazy. But I really like these. And then they have a hexagon Afghan in here also. The hexagon Afghan has flowers and regular hexagon motifs in it. Let me show it to you. I don't know if you can see that. See, it has the flowers and the regular hexagon motifs. But yeah, it's a lot of beautiful. They got one in here with snowflakes. Pretty. So anyway, yeah. So I was just basically showing you different books that I have. And then while we're talking about granny squares, I bought the granny square book. This is one of them. I think it's about 4 different ones, but I'm not exactly sure. But I bought this one because it looked like it had all the granny squares in it. But I've been seeing some granny squares that is not in this book. So that means I got to try to find the other 3 and buy them. Then I can look and have all the different array of granny squares in their entirety. Then I can make beautiful things like blankets and throws and cardigans and baby clothes and whatever else. Then I bought mile a minute Afghans. I believe I got this one from Amazon because it has a hardback like the Afghan book. But I could have got it from the thrift books website. I'm not sure. However, I got the book. So in this book, it has all these different types of mile a minute Afghans. Some of them are very, very interesting. This book was published in 1996 at Leisure Arts Inc. It's got some other stuff under that. I'm not going to try to read that because I can barely see. But it also has bold printing. I just need better lighting in this instance. They have beautiful patterns. And colorways. You probably can change the colors if you want, but I think you should use the suggested yarns if you're going to use from these books. You should use the suggested yarns that they call out in the books for the pattern, because you may get a different outcome if you use a different yarn or a different size hook. It could be too big or too small or too thick, because some of these Afghans look a little thin, you know, like you just throw them over like a throw. And then if you want it big for your bed, you have to make more paneling. You may not want to do that if you're using a bigger hook, you know. So I would suggest you use whatever type. Now, if the yarn that they ask for in the book is discontinued, then try to find the next best yarn to that. It's a lot of yarn out there, y'all. It is many different brands, many different weights, many different lengths, many different sizes. So you may have to try to substitute one for another, but try to get like in the same weight proximity, so you can make the blanket look almost similar, if not exact, to the same pattern that's in the book. Because these pictures, you know, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words. These pictures are definitely worth 1,000 words. Ruffled treasure. Cuddly clusters. Oh, this one is done with cluster stitches. That's cute. That's just white and like a yellow or a cream color. That's pretty. All the pictures are very vibrant pictures. And the way they have these things, throw it over the chair and throw it over the piano and throw it over. They look amazing. Who would have thought? Right? I've been crocheting a long time, and every time I see something in one of these magazines Because a lot of them I haven't even opened up yet. I'm showing them to you now, but I haven't opened them up yet. So some of these I'm seeing for the first time, and I'm inspired. I'm ready to grab my hook and get it cracking. You understand? Yes. See, butterfly blues. It looks like it's got butterflies on it. No, can you see? Yeah. And then there's some with, oh, this one has bow ties. Isn't it lovely? See, I was talking about it being thrown over the piano. That looks so nice. And that drew me in too, because, you know, I used to play piano when I was coming up. That's how I learned how I started wanting to crochet, because I was on the bus. We on our way to go and Twinkle the Twinklers. And I saw the lady and she's doing this on the bus, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But anyway, I'm not going to tell that story again. Y'all heard that story before. If you have not heard that story, it's in one of my videos. Go look at it. I hope I'm not being rude. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, this one has pretty scallops. Really nice. But anyway, yeah, so these are some of the books that I bought. It gives the credits of the people who made all of these beautiful Afghans and running. Oh, this one's pretty. A little bit of rainbow flavor there. So pastel rainbow. That's cute. You know I like rainbows, so. I like rainbows. So yeah, invest, people. Invest in a good crochet book if you're a crocheter. In a good crochet magazine, like the ones that I have, or better. I mean, you can find some other ones out there, maybe better, you know. And then I was like, I want to know about more stitches. I got greedy with the stitches, y'all. And I bought this book. 1,000 Japanese knitting and crochet stitches. Now, this book threw me for, hey, there's some money in here. Oh, shoot. Oh, that was my first sale. Let me shut up. Anyway, yeah. So this book was, let me see. It was copywritten. Wait a minute. I know you're in here. You don't tell me. They don't tell you. I guess the Japanese don't want you to know their business. Because the other books is right off the bat on the first couple of pages you find this out. And this one, they start telling you things that you need to know, but they don't want you to know what they want you to know, so they don't tell you. I guess. Or maybe I just can't find it. It might be in the back. Let me check the back. Sometimes they put things in the back. This is a fairly new book, and I have not looked through everything in this book. I just know that it's heavy. It's heavy, and it has a lot of stitches, single crochet and double crochet. It also tells you about the different symbols and terms and things like that. And here they teach you about edgings. See, these are edgings that you can put on the outside of your baby blankets, or the outside of your cardigan. You might want to get creative and put a little tablecloth edging on your cardigan, or your sweater vest, or your poncho, whatever, you know. Just something to be creative with. Yeah. Some of these edgings look like buildings. Like if you done been to Abu Dhabi or Italy or something like that. And they had those architectural forms. Yeah. Well, this one has good coloring. Ooh, hello. Good coloring in it. The stitches are not as bright as the other, but you can see the detail in them. And this book does not tell you with the illustrations, with the hand illustrations. This one don't tell you that. This one tells you in wording and numbers. So it tell you like 8 at the beginning. That means it's a multiple of 8 stitches. And then over at the end, it tells you how long it's supposed to be if you're making the swatch, like what they got in the book. It shows you what the stitch is supposed to look like, but it don't tell you, you know, how you're supposed to do the stitch. I guess they want you to know that already, or you should know that already. And they have a lot of different patterns as far as the stitches, and they put them in 2 and 3 colors. So if you like to change color a lot and stuff like that in your work, it shows you how to do those things in a multitude of colors. And they also have some that are solid in color. And you can see the illustrations also. What the stitch is supposed to look like when you work it up. How the stitches are supposed to be placed. It does tell you in this book what these little illustrations are. When you see the long line, no, when you see the X, that's a single crochet. If you see a circle, that's a chain. If you see what look like a T, that's a double crochet. A T with 2 lines on it, that's a triple crochet. You know, that type of thing. It shows you that. And I like this book, because a lot of these stitches I watched them do on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And when I see them, I'm like, oh, I always wanted to learn how to do that stitch. I'm glad that they do the videos, because videos help me out, because a lot of times I can't read because of my eyesight. My glasses are very thick. They don't look like it, but they are. And so I couldn't see a lot of the wording and stuff like that. So the videos help me out a lot. And there's quite a few people out there that wear glasses that they're either farsighted or nearsighted, and they basically can't see it. I'm sorry. I had to catch myself because I was finna say something I shouldn't have said. Anyway, they also have knitting stitches in this book. And the knitting stitches are done in bicolor or tricolor, so that you can see the details of the stitch pattern. If it's a cable, you can see the stitches in cable. See here? Yeah. And you can differentiate which one goes where. These are a little bit more harder to do the cable stitches if you are crocheting or if you are knitting. They're a little bit more complicated. Even though they tell us that they're easy, if you're a little slow like me, because I'm a little slow sometimes, you're a little slow like me, you have to slow the video all the way down so you can see what they did, because maybe they move a little too fast. Or maybe they did something that you thought you saw but you didn't see, or you didn't see but you thought you should have seen it. You know, like that. But anyway, yeah. The pictures in this book is very vibrant as far as detailing, because they use different colors to let you know where the lights are supposed to go, where the darks are supposed to go, how many dark stitches are supposed to be in this row versus how many light stitches. So you don't get confused in the pattern. I like this book. I just wish it had more wording, because everybody can't read the illustrations. Luckily, I'm learning how, so I'm not complaining. Anyway, that's it for my books. Yeah. Now in this Granny Square book, for those of you who don't have this book, you might want to check it out. It has different Granny Square patterns in it as well. And it also has vibrant coloring and color change, where you will know what goes where and who goes with what. And the wording is also in bold print and darker print, where you can read it, where I can read it. But I've learned how to do the, they also have some cards. I haven't gotten the cards yet. I sent for them. I'm just waiting on them to come. But they have some cards also for the Granny Square stitches. I think it's about 50 cards in there, and you can see the details on the back, the illustration, the what I'm trying to say. These, I don't know how to pronounce that. These, see how the illustrations there of the stitches. Like I was talking about earlier, the circle means a chain and the X means a single crochet, and you know, like that. So yeah. They got a square in here called the Kamala Square. Now when I bought this book, Kamala was running for president. Her name made it to the book, but she didn't make it to the presidency. Coincidence. Anyway, then they have other granny squares. Some that look like crosses. Some that look like flowers. They even have some in here that look like watermelon. 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 Yeah, they got some fruits in here. Some vegetables. Some fruits. Watermelon. And I've learned quite a few from this book. And it helps. It helps out a lot. Because now, not only can I do the original granny square, but I know how to make the roses and different things, other kinds that they have in here. Roses, flowers, kites, flags, yeah, hearts. So yeah, invest, most definitely. Okay, here's the lemon and the orange. And the apples. Yeah. And they even have the cut apple. So you can see what it look like on the inside. Ain't that cute? That is cute. I love that. Yes. Make me an apple cardigan or something. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I might change the color of the apples though. Because they got red and yellow apples, so you can red on one side and yellow on the other side. They got green and red apples, you know, together. So you can kind of do it how you want to do it. They ain't got no grapes in this mofo though. Oh, I'm sorry. They ain't got no grapes here. I want some grapes. We got rainbows. How pretty. Yep. So anyway, I have spent over an hour talking about these books. So let me get on and talk about what I got from Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby today. I went to Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby. Hey, 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 hey. I went to Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah. Is she crazy? Crazy about crochet right now, okay? So I bought quite a bit of cotton yarn because I want to make some some bags. And then I bought some variegated yarns because I like variegated yarn. I love this yarn. This one is, let me see, how many did I get? I bought 8 skeins. They had a 30% off sale. So I bought 8 skeins of that. And this one is an acrylic yarn. It is, interesting. It is 4 weight. You can use a I9 5.5 millimeter with it, or a US 8 5 millimeter knitting needle with it. The name of the color, what's the color? What's the color? The color is Instant Classic. Can you see? Instant Classic. And then I bought another variegated. It's got a little brown in it. I should have got 2 of these each. I should have gotten 2. However, this is also a number 4. These are very soft. I like these. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them yet. Well, actually I am. I just don't want to tell you. You see later. But yeah, that. This one is in the colorway of, nope. Had it right the first time. Argentine. That's the name of it. Argentine. It has some brown, some gray, like a caramel brown, a tan, a beige, a light gray, and a medium gray. To go with those 2, I bought this. I wanted the darker one too, but I couldn't find the darker one. This is burnt pumpkin. I just thought these two would go so nice together. And then I bought this one. This is also, I love this yarn. It's also a 4-weight acrylic yarn. The name on this one is Candy Stick Stash. It has almost a rainbowy effect, but not exactly. It has some teal in here, some purple, some spring green, some light green, turquoise, purples, and a red. Then for my cotton yarn, they so little, I should have got 2 of them. I had to go back. They had to give me a reason to go out of the house. This is 100% cotton. You can use a 5mm hook. I think that's what this say. Let me see. No, it's I9. You can use an I9 hook with it. I had to look at the light. The light is on the camera. The name of this color is Cinnamon Cedar. Cinnamon Cedar. It has some greens and like a little rose color, berry color, a golden yellow, a gold, tan, a little beige. And then I bought parchment because this is what I want to do, the handle of the bag with. So that's parchment. This is also a cotton yarn. This is another, I love this cotton. This one is the same reed as the other. It's also a number 4 weight cotton yarn. The name on this color is Curry. C-U-R-R-Y, Curry. And then last but not least, for Hobby Lobby, I bought this one. The name of this is Harvest. It has some rose color, like a steel gray, pinkish, and like a apricot orange or burnt orange, something like that. So that was Hobby Lobby's mix-up. I see bags in my future. That's why I'm going to have to go back, because I don't think one of these will make a whole bag. I probably have to have 2. This Instant Classic, I bought that before. I used that in my Sunburst cardigan. Okay, so if you live in Chicago, then you know that Hobby Lobby is nowhere near the south side of Chicago. You got to go all the way west. It's one on 87th Street, 87th in Harlem, and it's another one in North Riverside Mall. That was the one I went to, North Riverside Mall. Then I got some cotton yarn from Loops and Threads in Michaels. This is the number 4 weight. Can I find it? Yeah, it's the number 4. You can use a 5mm hook for this to keep it tight. You got to keep it tight. It don't tell you nothing about a knit needle, so I guess this is just crochet yarn. The color is, sorry. The color is It's a peacock. Peacock is the color of this. And I got a light green as well. The color in this one is seafoam. It's green. Now, the differences between the cotton yarns. This cotton yarn is a little bit rough. Kind of like what some Red Heart Super Savers are. This is the Loops and Threads cotton yarn. Classic cotton. 120 yards, 2.5 ounces, or 2.5 ounces, if you want to be technical. 109 meters, 70.9 grams, almost 71 grams for that. I didn't read the, okay, I'll come back to that. Anyway, then I got me another Heartland yarn in the colorway of Valley, V-A-L-L-E-Y. Oh, am I getting tired? I hope I ain't tiring y'all out with all this. Anyways, this yarn is 5 ounces, 142 grams, or is that 14.2? I can't see. 251 yards, 230 meters. It is 100% acrylic. Squishy, very soft. Heartland yarn from Land brand. And I also bought this is supposed to be white, but it don't look white to me. It look like off-white or soft white to me. But it says, oh, excuse me, goodness. It says that it is Blanco. White. Blanc. I said Blanco. Blanc. B-L-A-N-C. White. I guess I have to check the dye lot number. Because when I put it up against my shawl that I'm doing in white, this did not match. So I have to check the coloring. The dye lot number on the label. See if I can try to find the one like the one I have for my shawl. Now for these, I love this yarn, acrylic. This is I can't see it. It is, you can use a 5.5 millimeter hook or a 5 millimeter knitting needle for it. I'm looking for the lengths and all that stuff. Okay. It is 7 ounces, 199 grams, or is that 19? Yeah, 199 grams, 355 yards, 325 meters for these. I love this yarn. For the variegated one, if it's the same thing, I'm not gonna read it. Upside down. No, it's different. 5 ounces, 142 grams, 252 yards, and 230 meters. You can use an I-9 5 millimeter hook or US 8 5 millimeter knit needle. For the, I love this cotton. This cotton is so soft. This is top. I want to make bag out of it, but it'll probably end up being a top or a scarf or something like that. Let's see. What does it say? 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 180 yards, 165 meters. These other two, I don't think they're the same. I have to look and see. For the harvest one, 3 ounces, 85 grams, or is that 8.5? I can't see. 85 grams, 153 yards, 140 meters. Okay, so now that I've done all of that, whew, I'm traveling. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the things that I have made. In one of my videos I was talking about I had made this thing. This is an off-the-shoulder top. I'm big as a house, so it's wide. But as you can see, I've lost quite a bit of weight since I made this. So if it's a larger size woman that would like to buy this, I'm just letting you know it's hot. You can wear it in the winter. Don't wear it in the summer because you'll melt. You'll be like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. Anyway, this is made with acrylic yarn. I don't know how many yards of yarn I used. I just know that I used red heart yarn and the color Mexicana, burgundy, orange. I think this is sunset orange. And then pumpkin, bright yellow, royal blue, patty green, and on the other side I used a teal green, but this teal green came from I love this yarn, and purple or amethyst color, and it is in rainbow. My Mexicana yarn was pooling. That's why you see all these figure eights. But I like it. I was crazy about it when I made it. It was made with the moss stitch. I did 3 colors moss stitch in a row up this way. And then I made another one, 3 colors up this way and 3 colors up this way. And I did that all the way around. How I joined them together with the black. This was also red heart. But you can use cotton. Use something smaller, like a number 3 to make this. I used a number 4, and when I tell you it was too hot, it was way too hot. But anyway, yeah. But it was pretty though. I will make another one, just not with this yarn. Unless I decide to do a dress. But anyway, I sewed them together with the black. I stitched them together with the black, and then I did the, what you call the stitch when you go through the yarn and make your single crochet, not single crochet. You go through the yarn and you make the chain in the middle of the stitches all the way across to do that. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I did that. Okay. And I made the waffle hat and scarf set. I didn't put any fringe on it, and it's not finished. Well, it is finished, I just didn't put the fringe on it. This scarf is done with lilac, lavender, orchid, and then that's big twist yarn there. That was amethyst and big twist, and then the jewel tone artist print from Red Heart. I did that in the waffle stitch. So this is a set. this. This is a ear warmer. It is made with 2 strands of yarn to make it thick, so that when you put it around your ears do not get cold. And then I made a rose, excuse me, a rose that goes in the front of it. I made a, this isn't finished. This is what I call a whip, but I did a vest, a duster vest. It is done with the waffle stitch at the top. Waffle stitch at the top. And in the bottom, there is an alternate puff stitch and double V stitch or open shell stitch. And that is, it comes below the knee. I don't know how long it is. I didn't measure it. I just made it. Because most of the things I make for myself. Then there's this. This is my cheese, toast, and coffee sweater. Cardigan sweater. Yeah. I made this thing. This was after I made this was basically my first cardigan. Yeah. Was my first cardigan? No, this was not my first cardigan. I just lied. My first cardigan was cream and rainbow, or cream and Mexicana mixed together. It's like this though, but this is done in half double crochet all the way up. I started from the bottom up. There are 3 panels, 1 in the back and 2 in the front. I decreased it a little bit so it have a bit of a V, so when I close it, it wouldn't choke me to death. It wouldn't choke me. And this was made with the Red Heart soft yarn in toast and gold. And then the ribbing was done with the coffee. I think it's coffee. Coffee brown from Red Heart. Okay. It has pockets also. And a cuff at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, cuff at the bottom. And it is warm. It was done with 2 strands of yarn. So, I was crazy about this sweater. The reason why I call it cheese, toast, and coffee is because that's what I used to eat for breakfast. I'd make me a cheese toast or a grilled cheese. So we say grilled cheese and coffee, but I say cheese, toast, and coffee. I'd make me a grilled cheese and have me a cup of coffee. When the doctor told me I couldn't drink any more coffee because it runs up my blood pressure and gives me headaches, I stopped drinking coffee. Now, I'm going to move. See these totes? 1, 2. This tote here, this white tote, that's where all the first things that I ever made. My first needles is in there. My first knit needles are in there. The very first ones I got. My first crochet hooks are in there. The very first crochet hook I got. I think I got some yarn needles in there too. They made of plastic. I bought the plastic ones because my father didn't trust me having the metal ones. So he made sure that I had everything I needed. And he bought me now, I want to go through it, but I don't know how much time I have. I'm already an hour and 19 minutes in the hole. I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want it to cut off. So maybe I'll just show you those things in my next video. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you coming by and kicking it with me while I showed you all the stuff I showed you, the books and the yarns and the Hobby Lobby joints and the things that I made and all of that. I'm going to save some for my next video, because if I do all of it in this video, it won't make no sense for me to make another one with her. Okay. Anyway, I love you. Peace.